You're at a desk beneath fluorescent light, staring at a screen when the inside of your wrist begins to tickle. It is so faint that you ignore it for a second. Then your fingers arrive. Your nails cross the spot, and relief flashes. The tickle returns before you can settle back into the work. You scratch again. The skin warms, then reddens under your hand. One more pass leaves a sting and a thin break at the surface. This is the demand to scratch a harmless itch. You treat it as a random private flaw, a ridiculous reaction to nothing. Beneath your fingernails, the skin is raised and red. The hand hovers above the irritated wrist, held back for a moment. That command did not begin at your desk, and it was never designed for comfort. Parasites on human skin created a pressure for rapid detection and removal. Itch drove scratching and grooming toward the exact patch demanding attention. That defense reaches back tens of thousands of years. It remains in the body after the immediate danger is absent, and its moment of relief carries a hidden physical price. The price is not an accident added by a careless modern world. It belongs to the unfinished bargain inside the command itself. Tens of thousands of years is enough time for a response to stop feeling inherited. It becomes ordinary. It arrives without ceremony, folded into the smallest movements of a hand. Nearly every person alive carries some version of this old instruction, regardless of whether the skin beneath their fingers holds anything that needs removing. The sensation feels intimate, because it enters through 1 square inch of flesh. Its reach is anything but intimate. It is shared equipment, passed across an immense human past, until it can seem like personality. That scale changes the meaning of a small urge. A private irritation is also a trace of a pressure that shaped ancient human bodies long before offices, screens, and electric light. The command is older than the setting where you receive it, yet it speaks with complete authority inside that setting. Your wrist tingles again after the hand pulls away. Tens of thousands of years sit behind that small demand, proving it was never merely a private quirk. What that command asks from skin has not yet been answered. Now in the grocery store checkout line, a small sensation wakes at the back of your neck beneath your collar. You reach up before the card reader finishes its beep. Your fingertips search the patch. Your nails follow, once, then again. The hand is not weighing evidence. It has been summoned. The response is active in the present tense. It turns a patch of skin into the center of the world for a few seconds. Conversation thins out. The list in your head drops away. There is only the point beneath the collar, and the pressure of fingers trying to settle it. The body gives that point priority, with no request for permission. This is not a museum piece carried silently under modern clothes. It enters the day as an instruction immediate enough to redirect a moving hand. A clean checkout lane and a lit display do not make the instruction quieter. They simply surround it. It does not wait for a considered decision. For an instant, the aisles, waiting customers, and receipt curling from the printer become distant. The command has narrowed your attention to a single point, and the rest of the room must wait for it. You lower your hand, but the patch at your neck seems to call it back. The detail is plain. Your fingers have already returned to a place that offered no answer. Somewhere behind that reflex is a harsher world of skin and small living threats. On bare skin, a parasite can pass through hair, beneath clothing, and into the folds where an arm meets the body. It feeds close to blood. It can remain hidden among fibers and skin until a tiny movement becomes the only warning. At night, when firelight stops at the edge of a group, that movement gives no sound. It is a crawling point on the surface. The signal has to be fast. An itch pulls attention onto one patch of body before calm thought can sort through the feeling. Fingers search the place. Nails drag across it. Grooming follows the same trail, lifting through hair and pressing along skin where something small may be clinging. A parasite that is dislodged cannot stay in place and feed longer. Skin was a boundary tested by small living threats. Hair held them. Clothing held them. Folds of skin hid them from a glance. Humans who noticed a crawling parasite and removed it reduced a burden that returned again and again. The response endured because it turned a faint touch into immediate inspection, using the hand as a rough tool before the intruder settled deeper into its hold. That speed remains under your own fingernails. When a pinpoint itch rises, your hand can locate a patch of skin without waiting for a decision. The fact is simple. Fingernails still pass over the place where a parasite could have been moving. Now a louse moves through the hair at your scalp. Its legs catch between strands close to the skin. A small itch appears, and your hand rises to the exact area before the sensation has time to spread across your attention. Fingertips part the hair. Nails scrape lightly at the scalp. Then the fingers keep searching, combing through the same narrow path. Here, the command fits the world around it. The itch has marked a real external intruder. Scratching draws the hand to the louse, and grooming gives the hand a chance to remove it from hair before it remains there. The sudden demand is useful because the threat is small, mobile, and easy to miss with a glance. The response does not need to know the name of what touched you. It only needs to make one patch impossible to ignore. That is why the feeling can overpower a conversation, a task, and the comfort of sitting still. It narrows the body toward inspection. In the presence of a louse, that narrowing is protection. Your fingertips remain at the scalp, tracing through the hair where the signal began. A real crawling parasite can still summon the old response, and the hand still knows what to do with it. Then you sit in a clean room, with nothing moving across your forearm. There is no parasite in the sleeve, no louse in the hair, no small body feeding at the surface. Yet a dry patch of skin sends up an itch, and your hand receives it with the same urgency. The danger is absent. The command arrives anyway. After a hot shower, a harmless tickle catches on the side of your hand. Your nails cross at once, then again, until a red line appears where there had only been dry skin. The signal called for inspection. Your hand answered with force. Later, a sweater cuff brushes the inside of your elbow. You scratch the spot and feel relief for a moment. Then the relief fades. Your fingers return to the same patch with greater urgency, even though the skin holds no crawling intruder. You look at an empty patch of skin and it still feels invaded. Dryness can begin an itch without any parasite present. The old demand does not wait to learn what started it, and the hand has not finished answering yet. During a meeting, the edge of your shirt cuff brushes your wrist. The contact is small, almost lost beneath voices and the scrape of chairs. Then the spot begins to pull at you. Your hand slips beneath the table. A nail presses into the skin, then drags across it. For a second, the pressure clears the feeling. You try to follow the discussion again, but attention keeps breaking away from faces, notes, and speech. The same point on your wrist has become more urgent than the work in front of you. Your concentration is spent on a patch of skin that holds nothing to remove. At night, an itchy place wakes on your shin after the room goes dark. You scratch through the blanket. The first pass gives relief. The next pass is harder. Soon the skin feels hot beneath your fingertips, and each new stroke leaves it more irritated than before. Sleep does not begin because the hand keeps returning to check the same place. You shift your leg, pull the blanket aside, scratch again, and wait for the sensation to settle. It does not settle while the skin is being rubbed raw. The loss is not only at the surface. A harmless cue can take your focus from a room, take rest from a bed, and turn the hand into something that moves before you have chosen it. Dryness and small contacts keep offering signals that resemble an immediate call for inspection. You feel the raised nail marks on your shin in the bedside light. Repeated scratching leaves skin hotter and more irritated, giving the next signal more ground to work with. A towel seam catches the skin behind your knee after a shower. The touch is gone as soon as you dress, yet the spot remains active beneath the fabric. You reach back to scratch it while walking down the hall. Then you stop yourself. You know there is nothing there. That knowledge does not remove the demand from the skin. The mismatch has an answer. The old command does not identify a parasite before it sends the hand. It responds to the kind of surface signal that once required immediate inspection. Dry skin can produce that signal. A cuff, a seam, heat, and a brief brush across the body can produce it too. The hand receives the same instruction before the cause has been sorted. The ancient response is fast, because delay once left a small living threat in contact with the body. Now the speed can be aimed at an empty patch. You try to leave it alone. The feeling grows sharper because attention is already fixed there. You scratch lightly, hoping to end it without making a mark. Relief arrives, and that relief teaches the hand to return when the next pulse rises. You cover the patch with clothing, change position, press your palm against it, and keep moving. The signal remains close enough to the surface that another brush can wake it again. On a crowded train, your sleeve rubs the same place at your elbow and your fingers tense before they move. Brief relief can train a return to scratching, even when the skin has no intruder. Each return gives the irritated surface another chance to become the source of the next demand. A watch band shifts against the top of your forearm while you wait in line. At first you rub the spot with a thumb. The tickle remains. Your nail takes over, pressing into the same narrow patch through one more pass, then another. The skin starts to sting, but the sting does not stop the hand. It only joins the sensation, already demanding attention. This is where the defense turns against the body it once guarded. Scratching damages the skin barrier. The damaged surface becomes inflamed. Inflammation can intensify itch. The hand scratches for brief relief, then meets a patch made more sensitive by the force it used. What began as a harmless signal becomes an itch-scratch cycle, with the same parasite removal response repeatedly injuring skin that holds no parasite. The toll gathers in one place, and then spreads through the day. Skin is excoriated by nails. Swelling rises around the damaged area. Water, fabric, and touch sting against the broken surface. Sleep is disturbed when an itchy patch keeps calling the hand back after dark. Attention fractures during work, meals, conversations, and still moments, because the body keeps assigning priority to the same irritated point. Relief becomes part of the trap, training the hand to return before you have decided that another scratch is worth the damage. Dry skin can begin the itch. Inflammatory skin disease can begin it too. Neither changes what the inherited response does once scratching starts. You look down at the forearm beneath the watch band and see swelling around a scratch you cannot remember choosing. Inflammation can intensify